Welcome everyone to this gentle yin yoga practice to soothe and release your IT band, so that stiff band of tissue that runs down the outside of the thigh. I would recommend having a yoga block or another form of support like a chair nearby. And we're going to get started in dangling pose. So making your way to a standing forward fold, letting the upper body just hang. You could place your hands on top of your block or chair, and then step your right foot behind the left. So the thighs are crossed, your front knee, left knee is bent. We're thinking about sending our right hip over towards the right. You might need to shift around a little bit to find the stretch that feels best for your body. Just looking to feel some amount of sensation in the outside of the thigh. We won't be here for very long, just kind of bringing a bit of attention to this area to start out. You can press your hands down into your support, uncross the legs, shake them out. You might even like to come to a little squat and kind of sway the body a few inches left and right to shake that off. And eventually, once you're ready, we'll come back to that standing forward fold, supporting yourself however you'd like with your hands or fingertips, and crossing the left leg behind. So bend into that front knee. Think about sending the hips just ever so slightly over towards the left. Finding a nice stretch in the outer left thigh. If you're comfortable with the eyes closed, you're welcome to do so here. Letting the breath be fluid and natural, in and out through the nose. Just a few more breath cycles here. And then bringing the left foot back alongside the right, wiggling out your knees or crouching down to sway a little bit, letting that go. And eventually making your way to an all fours position, gluing your legs together and wagging your tail from side to side. So getting a little bit into that IT band here with this gentle sway. And let's make our way to a seat for our next posture. Going to take shoelace pose. So crossing the right knee on top of the left. We have different variations available to us here. You could keep your left leg extended. You could sit up on your block or on a cushion. You could also use a prop to wedge between the top and bottom knee. So if you're not quite finding something that works for you, feel free to adjust as necessary. Once you have found it, I encourage you to settle in, again closing the eyes if you'd like. The breath is soft and steady as we simply observe whatever might be coming up here. Whether this is an area you frequently experience tension in, also quite normal to experience sensation in areas like your hips or lower back. It's all connected. So you are doing yourself a world of good by turning up today. Let's take 2 more breaths here. You might even like to sigh it out through the mouth on the exhale. And keeping the legs as they are, we'll come into a gentle twist with the upper body. So the left hand can softly rest on top of your top knee. Right fingertips can support you behind the body, not turning very far, not pushing or pulling. Just a slightly different variation here. And we can release the twist. We'll very slowly shift our way out of this one. You can bring the heels in front of you, feet apart, and just sway the knees a little bit left and right. This can be as big or as small of a movement as feels good to you. We're letting that go. Second side, same options available. That right leg could stay straight if you'd like. As we wiggle the left knee over on top of it, maybe propping it up with a cushion, maybe sitting up a little taller. You do not have to take exactly the same version of the stretch on this second side. IT bands often very tight or even painful, particularly if you have dealt with conditions like hip bursitis in the past or any troubles with your lower back, or even just for those of us who spend a lot of time sitting. It's very common to feel tension here. So let the breath simply calm the nervous system, appreciate whatever it is that's coming up for you, adjusting as necessary. Breathing here. Once again, you might like to bring this into a twist now, twisting the upper body towards the left, resting the right hand or forearm somewhere over top of your top knee. Not a deep twist, just a gentle movement and experience. And softly coming out of that twist, freeing up those legs. A few more windshield wipers with the heels out in front of us, left and right. We'll come towards one of my all-time favorite poses. Rolling down onto your back. We're coming towards banana pose here. So once you're down on your back, you can plant the feet just to lift up your hips and shift them a little bit over towards the right. And then extending your legs towards the bottom left corner of the mat. Once you've done that, you can also shuffle your upper body towards the left as well. so that we're making a banana shape with the hips towards the right and everything else towards the left. The arms can be alongside the body, or you might like to gently hold on to your right wrist with your left hand overhead. You can keep the feet next to one another, or perhaps cross right ankle over left. A wonderful way to feel a deep stretch all the way down the right side of the body, including, of course, our IT band. You're doing beautifully. If you feel you'd like to adjust at all, just to maybe experience a more plentiful sensation or find your edge in this pose, please do so. And if you're ready, we can bring the entire body back to center, planting both feet. You could simply hold here or take some little rocking motions with the knees from left to right. Rebounding from that deep stretch, and eventually shifting the hips towards the left and everything else towards the right. So same options. You could cross left ankle over right down at the bottom right corner of your mat. You could keep the arms alongside the body, or perhaps hold on to your left wrist. I like to keep my head turned up towards the ceiling for this one, but you're very welcome to turn it to one side or the other if that feels good for you. Maybe taking a moment here to observe if this side feels tighter or perhaps a little bit more open. We hold so much tension in our side bodies, and we often are not even aware of it. So I applaud you for listening to yourself today. Gently bringing the arms back alongside you, planting the feet, shifting the body back to center, and just widen the soles of the feet slightly, letting the knees fall in towards one another. So this is an opportunity for a bit of internal rotation. Nice way to close things out after all that attention brought to the IT band. For a few breaths here. And I encourage you to stay a little bit longer if you do have time. You're also invited to join my 5-day Yin Yoga Challenge. All of the practices about 15 minutes long, and you can find the link on screen and in the description box of this video. Thank you for joining me, and have a beautiful day.